Discipline. The word itself carries a weight that can be felt long before it is understood. It is not loud, not glamorous, not something that demands attention, yet it quietly governs every triumph humanity has ever achieved. Behind every medal, invention, masterpiece, or act of greatness lies a force unseen, uncelebrated, but undeniably present. That force is discipline. It is easy to admire success from a distance. People see the spotlight, the victory, the glory, but rarely the unseen hours that built it. They praise the outcome and overlook the process. Discipline is that process. It is the unspoken agreement between who you are and who you are determined to become. It is the voice that whispers when the world is silent, keep going. It is the invisible structure holding dreams upright when motivation collapses. Motivation is fleeting. It burns bright, then fades as soon as comfort calls. But discipline endures. It doesn't care about moods or feeling. It doesn't need inspiration to act. It shows up when excitement disappears. It keeps you moving when no one is watching, when no one applauds, when progress feels invisible. It is the quiet power that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary results. Every great life has been shaped by discipline. It is the common thread woven through every success story, whether it belongs to an athlete rising before dawn, a writer facing the blank page each day, or an innovator refusing to give up after countless failures. They all share one truth. Success is not built on bursts of motivation, but on consistent effort rooted in discipline. It is not the fire of passion that sustains achievement. It is the steady hand of self-control. Discipline is not punishment. It is not the denial of joy. It is the highest form of self-respect. The recognition that your goals deserve commitment, your dreams deserve consistency, and your potential deserves to be realized. It is the art of doing what must be done, even when the heart resists and the mind protests. Through discipline, chaos finds order and potential finds purpose. The true strength of discipline lies in its simplicity. It doesn't ask for brilliance or perfection. It asks for persistence. It turns small, deliberate actions into unstoppable momentum. One decision at a time, it builds the foundation of mastery. It is not loud or heroic, but it is relentless. And in its relentlessness lies its power. Those who understand discipline know it is not a restriction, it is liberation. It frees you from the slavery of impulse, from the trap of inconsistency, from the pain of regret. It gives you control over your path, your habits, and your destiny. Discipline whispers when the world shouts distractions, reminding you that every choice matters, that every effort counts. In the end, discipline is not just a practice, it is a way of life. It is the unseen force that separates the dreamers from the doers, the wishful from the powerful. And once embraced, it transforms everything. Your habits, your outcomes, your identity. Because while talent may open doors and luck may light the path, it is discipline, steady, silent, and unbreakable, that ensures you walk it to the end. The truth few are willing to accept is this: motivation is overrated. It is unreliable, fleeting, and fragile. It comes when life feels exciting and disappears the moment struggle arrives. Those who depend on motivation will rise and fall with its tide, starting strong, then stopping when it fades. But those who understand discipline know that real success has never depended on how one feels. It depends on what one decides. Motivation is emotional, but discipline is deliberate. Motivation asks, do I feel like it? Discipline asks, is it necessary? One is based on comfort. The other is based on commitment. And that difference defines destinies. People wait for inspiration before taking action, never realizing that action itself creates inspiration. Discipline teaches endurance. It teaches humility. It reminds you that progress is not always visible, but it is always happening for those who stay the course. There is no glory without grind, no excellence without effort. Greatness belongs to those. The greatest war is not fought on fields or in arenas. It is fought within the mind. Every day, a silent battle rages between comfort and commitment, between excuses and execution, between who you are and who you are meant to become. This is the battlefield of discipline. And make no mistake, the enemy is not outside you. It lives inside your own thoughts. The voice of resistance is subtle. It whispers reasons to delay, to rest, to stop. It tells you that one mistake won't matter, that the goal is too far, that you've done enough. It cloaks weakness in logic and fear in comfort. That voice will always be there, and it will always sound convincing. But discipline is the counterforce. It is the voice that speaks truth when excuses speak comfort. It says, do it anyway. It says, keep going. It says, you started for a reason. Remember it. The battle within is not won by strength of body, but by strength of will. It begins the moment you refuse to let your emotions dictate your action. When fatigue says stop, discipline says one more. When doubt says quit, discipline says continue. It is in those moments when you feel the heaviest resistance that growth is closest. The harder it feels, the greater the transformation waiting beyond it. Most people lose this inner battle not because they lack ability, but because they surrender to feelings. They wait for motivation, for the right time, for clarity. But discipline knows that clarity comes from motion. The act of showing up, especially when you don't feel like it, builds the strength that excuses can never match. Every time you overcome hesitation, you weaken its hold. Every time you choose effort over ease, you sharpen your will. The truth is, the mind will always seek the path of least resistance. It's designed to protect you from discomfort. But discipline understands that discomfort is not the enemy. It is the ford. It is where endurance is built, where courage is refined, where resilience is born. Each struggle you face is not an obstacle. It's an invitation to evolve. Winning the dare is a paradox few truly understand. The very thing people resist the most, discipline, is the very thing that sets them free. Freedom is often mistaken for the ability to do whatever one pleases, whenever one wants. But that kind of freedom, unguarded and unchecked, quickly becomes a prison built from distraction, procrastination, and regret. True freedom is not found in indulgence. It is found in self-control. Discipline is the price of that freedom. The undisciplined life may appear easy, but it is not free. It is chained to impulses, ruled by moods, and directed by circumstance. It reacts rather than leads, drifts rather than drives. Every choice made for comfort steals a piece of potential. Every moment surrendered to distraction costs a moment of purpose. Without discipline, life becomes a series of reactions instead of deliberate actions, and there is no freedom in that. Discipline, on the other hand, looks demanding from the outside, but those who live and know it is liberation in disguise. It frees you from the chaos of inconsistency. It frees you from the tyranny of laziness. It frees you from the haunting weight of what could have been. Through discipline, time becomes an ally, not an enemy. You no longer chase goals in panic. You pursue them with purpose. You no longer wish for control. You own it. The disciplined person wakes each day not to be ruled by emotion, but to lead it. They are not slaves to cravings, distractions, or temporary feelings. They do not wait for the perfect mood to act. They create progress through structure, and in that structure they find peace. Because freedom is not the absence of rules, it is the mastery of them. It is knowing that you control your habits, not the other way around. Think of every dream you've ever had, every goal, every vision of the life you want. Without discipline, those dreams ain't untouched sketches in the mind. But with discipline, they take shape, they gain color, they become reality. The freedom to live on your terms comes only after you've paid the price of consistency. There is no other currency accepted by success. Discipline gives you the rarest kind of freedom, the freedom to trust yourself. To know that when you decide something, you will follow through. To know that your word, even to yourself, holds value. That trust is power. It is confidence born not from luck or approval, but from integrity. You become unshakable because you no longer depend on circumstance to define you. The truth is simple yet profound. Without discipline, freedom decays into chaos. With discipline, chaos transforms into power. Every act of self-control is a declaration of independence. Every time you choose effort over ease, you reclaim a part of yourself that distraction once owned. And when you live by discipline, you no longer chase freedom. You embody it. So if freedom is what you seek, do not run from discipline. Embrace it. Because discipline is not the chain that binds you. It is the key that unlocks every door. You said.